Hey guys, welcome to my legal classes. This is Ganesh Pujari and today we are going to refer one of the most interesting and important aspect from jurisprudence, that is sources of law. Now this is quite a technical subject and lot of aspects involved. However, I have brought it into one single slide so that while entering the exam hall, you can refer this slide as the last moment slide, which will give you a lot of confidence to attend your exam. And in my future videos, I will explain each of them in detail. So with that, let's get into the single slide presentation on sources of law. When it comes to sources of law, the most of the jurists have an understanding that there are three major sources of law. They are legislation, judicial precedents and customs. Though few discuss about material facts and international law and other things, I'm not going to touch upon them because they are not very important when it comes to the perception of examination. So I am limiting them to the three sources. They are legislation, precedents and customs. Now, if we start with legislation, this is supported by the analytical school, which believes, basically Austin says, sovereign has the power to make command or give legislation to the nation, and sovereign also has a power to sanction punishment. So that is how they are giving lot of importance to the sovereign to make legislation, and they believe legislation as the source of law. And important jurists that you can mention when it comes to legislation as a source of law is Austin and Bentham. Now, legislation is basically divided into two major categories: supreme legislation and subordinate legislation. And subordinate legislation has 7 different aspects: colonial legislation, judicial legislation, autonomous legislation, delegated legislation, executive legislation, municipal legislation and quasi legislation. The second important aspect is judicial precedents, and this is basically supported by realists who think that judicial decisions are the source of law, and the important jurists that you can mention is Jerome, Frank and Holmes. Now, judicial precedents again have three important branches. They are authoritative and persuasive, absolute and conditional, and delegatory and virginal. The third important source is customs, and this is supported by the historical school of jurisprudence, which says law by itself. Viu trita, viu tuta. That means the frequently used path are better paths. So that is the thinking way for customs, and the important jurists supported this source of law are Savigny, Henry Maine, etc. Now, customs are again divided into two important categories: legal customs and conventional custom. And we have two different branches under legal customs. They are general custom and local custom. This is all I am going to explain in this particular slide. However, you will get independent video on all these three aspects. I will try touch upon few case laws along with Indian context. Hope that helps. As I said in the very initial statement that this is only the last moment reference video. This is not a consolidated or comprehensive video on the sources of law. I am going to make independent videos on all these three aspects, that is legislation, precedent and custom, independently, so that I can give sufficient materials on all these topics. Thank you so much for watching me. With that, I am concluding this session. Please subscribe my channel. Please like, share and comment my videos. All the very best for your exams, and thank you so much.